Hi everyone. I've been telling you I'm going to do this for a while, so here it is. I'm going to talk about my master's degree. Now, my master's degree is in Information Systems Engineering. It's a Master's of Science and it's at Johns Hopkins University. So that sounds pretty darn prestigious, but I consider myself more or less a regular guy. I've never been what I would consider to be an academic. But here's how it's going. I'm 2 classes in. I pretty much finished the second class. The first class I took was Foundations of Information System Engineering. And then the second is Foundations of Information Assurance, which is a little bit more, security stuff basically. So they have been interesting classes and I have learned things. That's the first thing I'm going to say. That it's not like in my bachelor's degree though, where I'm learning these technical skills that I can apply in places. It's very different. These are more like kind of learning how the grander scheme of things works, which at moments it's pretty darn cool. And in fact, some of my YouTube videos I've done have been a bit inspired by things I've learned from this master's degree. So it's not been bad. There's a lot of writing in it. If you love writing, this master's degree is for you. Now, I can write. I think I'm decent at writing. I don't like Microsoft Word. But if you give me a subject I'm interested in, I love writing about it. If you give me one that I'm not, I don't. And I remember when I was in grade school, we had to take a test called the FCAT. Just a standardized test, but we had to do an essay for it. Well, I was labeled gifted one year because they gave us a persuasive essay on if there should be assigned seats in the lunchroom. Well, that was a subject I had a lot of opinions on. So I wrote a very high-level paper on that. Another year, I got a paper of who's your favorite baseball player? I believe I scored below average. So I think a lot of us are kind of the same, and just realize if you're going into this, you're going to get things that you're interested in. You're going to get things that maybe you're not interested in. If you are into tech, I can say it helps. One thing that's helped me is that I just kind of tend to know about a lot of this stuff because I like it, I'm into it. It's, I've gone down a lot of these paths before and I love talking about it. So for me, it's not been too bad, but man, I mean, a lot of writing. Like our final for the information assurance class that I just got out of, I think we have 1 week left, but it was to write a 20+ page paper. That's a lot of writing if you ask me. Now, I'm sure there are people watching that have done a doctoral dissertation that they don't see it that way, but I do. That's a lot of writing, and we had like 2 weeks to do it basically. And then I also just finished writing a 10-page paper for the same class the week after that. And so that's a lot of writing. Before that, it was basically you would do a 5 to 10-page paper, and I was doing that. So that's a lot of writing. That's a lot of writing for me anyway. And I think I can deal with it, but I'm not like psyched about it. Writing is not like programming for me. I don't really get sucked in by it, and I run out of energy with it. But I can do it at least. So I can do it, and the thing is, I might be doing a little bit more than I have to because I've been getting excellent grades. I'm just not the type of person. I can't turn something in unless I feel like it meets a certain standard. Even if I know that if I got a 0 on it, I'd still pass. I just can't, for some reason I'm like that, I just can't deal with it. I have to turn it into something like I think is halfway decent. Beyond that, there's group work. The first class in particular had a lot of group work. It was, I'd say, about 50% group project. And that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And I'm sure it could have been worse. I ended up getting a really great group. The people I worked with, I learned from. In the times that we're in now, where we're kind of isolated, it gave me people to talk to. And some people I even just stayed in voice chat and talked to them about stuff not even related to the class. And that was a helpful thing for me. I live alone here. I own a house, but it's just me here. And it was nice to have people to talk to. So that was good. Group work, obviously, there's always the back and forth and worrying about someone not carrying their weight. But we didn't have that problem in this group, really. but it is still a lot of writing, and you feel like you're doing it for more than just yourself and your own grade at this point. There's other people that are counting on you. And from what I understand, in the future, it's going to be continued group work. Now, aside from just writing for writing's sake, there's also a lot of diagramming, and there definitely was in the first class, where we couldn't just write about something that we're building or that we would be building. We have to actually draw diagrams, and we kind of learn about these different types of diagrams, and we draw them. Now, that is, believe it or not, more of a technical skill. If you want to go into something like software engineering, this is something that you need to be able to do. Microsoft has a program called, I believe it's called Visio, and it is just for drawing diagrams like this, and there are several other pieces of software that do similar things. So this is for planning big systems, and that is kind of what I've been doing so far in the master's degree, is kind of planning out big systems that unfortunately are never going to exist, which is the thing that kind of gets me about it. I'm going to be straight and say I'm not enjoying it as much as I enjoyed my bachelor's degree. But I really enjoyed my bachelor's degree. Like, my bachelor's degree may have been the most fun I had in my life. The biggest thing I got into. Before that, I didn't care about much. And that was just an experience I wish I could relive sometimes and do it over again. If there was anything, I could put into some kind of recorder, and after I die, go back and do it again, that would definitely be the one. So I really loved my bachelor's degree. I don't love it to the same degree, not even close. I'm already, I get to the point where I feel like I don't want to do it. And that was really not the case in my bachelor's. I was always super enthusiastic about everything. I run out of energy with this stuff, especially with the writing, where I just get to the point where I'm like, I just can't keep doing this. Where with programming, I could keep going until I was literally in a mental state of not good, right? But I would keep going because I was that into it. I was really motivated. With this, I'm not. I'm biding my time, trying to think of how can I close this gap because I don't have much energy left. Now, part of that is because I'm working full time. I do this YouTube channel. This is a bit of an outlet for me. I 3D print stuff now. That's my hobby. I own a house, that takes keeping up with. So I'm busy and I'm tired, and I know that factors in. When I was doing my bachelor's degree, it was full-time bachelor's, part-time work. And I think I had some hobbies here and there, but it's not bad, I guess. If I'm going to tell you anything, it's not bad. I'm only 2 classes in, so I don't really want to judge it yet, but I think I have kind of the flow of things. I am doing very well. I will say that even though, when you write a program, that's the thing. When you write a program, it works, you walk away being happy because it works. When you write a paper, it's not the same thing. In a lot of these classes, I've written a bunch of stuff, and I think it was okay, but I'm like, I have no idea. I could have been completely off base. I pretty much feel that way every single time, but I still get a good grade. So I think that is kind of the idea of the master's degree, is it is supposed to be more of your thinking and the way you want to set things out, and it's open-ended, but you are the one doing that thinking. You are the one crafting that thing that in the end, unlike programming, can't be judged by whether or not it accomplishes the task. It's kind of just an exhibit of your brain at work. That's just what I think is going on. Next time I write one of these papers, I'm going to feel the same way. So that is the review I will give you. The program itself, I'd say, has been good. The professors have been excellent, all of them. Been able to work with some very, very established people. That is something I'm happy about. Johns Hopkins has generally been good. They use something called Blackboard, which is not the best as far as online stuff, but it works, and the professors have been great. So I'm sticking with it. I'm going to start my third class, and I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit better because despite the times, I think there's a possibility of in-person classes. I'm really looking forward to that. That's one thing that I had in my bachelor's that I haven't had yet in my master's, that I'm hoping that that is a big part of the gap, that I'll be able to get more into it and more passionate about it if I'm meeting people in person again and I'm making friends in person. I think that might make it a little bit more real to me and less just a weekly dish out of work. So anyway, that's my update, and I hope it's helpful to anyone who's thinking about getting into the degree. I plan on doing periodic updates about this, so yeah, stay tuned. Have a good night.